let's go slime shopping because it's time. It's time for me to restock. I ain't got nothing left. Most of my slime supplies comes from Five Below. I spent like $40,000 up a year. Like, I can't. It's genuinely just like the freaking Dollar Tree. Like, you go in for one thing, come out with 50,000 bags. So I'm in Walmart so I can restock on glue. Yeah, y'all. Why I don't see it? Okay, y'all, we found the glue. I feel orange. Oh my gosh. I'm contemplating between clear glue or regular glue. I might go with clear glue though.
I want dark squishy.
I already have one in the cart, but I'm gonna take it out because yeah. So now we have to find food coloring and shaving cream. I'm also shopping for Nico, my kitty cat, giving her some treats because the girl deserves it. Actually gonna stop. I'm actually gonna search to see if this is a good brand because Nico's really used to just, you know. Oh, stop. Sorry, she's getting the best of me. Oh my gosh. We are all stocked up. TTT. I might do a haul at the end of the video. But I think I'm gonna do more vlogs like this because yeah, it's like a little fun. Now I'm for the grocery shop. Slime haul part 2. Scary Storytime Haunted House Edition. Oh my gosh, y'all. I missed y'all so much. It's been forever and a day. Let's lock in. Kylie was a grandparents girl. She was always with her grandparents no matter what. She literally grew up with them. But when Kylie turned 15, her grandparents unfortunately passed away in a strange accident. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. Y'all already know. Let it drain. This gonna be a little bit of a plain Jane because I don't have any of my slime supplies because I moved. So yeah. Kylie and her family then moved into her grandparents' home. And that's when all the creepy stuff started to happen. The house was a 2-story house with an attic. And no one ever went into the attic. Ever. Kylie's room was directly underneath the attic. And she swore she heard footsteps every single night to the point to where she would sleep in her brother's room. She told her parents, but of course her parents told her that she experienced a lot of trauma with her grandparents' accident. And she's just hearing things basically. Kylie knew something was up because every night she swore she heard someone breathing in her ear. At this point, it's been about 2 years and the paranormal activities that was happening in the house kind of died down. Kylie's parents were leaving her to babysit her little brother while they go out somewhere. She doesn't specify. They told her that they would be back by morning. Kylie is now 17 or 18 years old and she's kind of forgot about all the paranormal stuff she used to believe in. The night starts off as normal. Kylie's in her room, her brother's in her room, when out of nowhere, they both hear this loud slam coming from the kitchen. Now, if nobody's home but them, they both go to check and all of the cabinets are like slammed open. Kylie is completely freaked out, but Kylie's brother does not believe in the supernatural, so he just goes and closes all the cabinets, even though he can't explain what exactly happened, okay? Kylie is scared, okay? She's in her room, and this is where she starts to hear footsteps. The footsteps are so loud, they wake her up out of her sleep. Kylie is now in her brother's room, and Kylie's brother fell asleep, okay? And she's on her way to go to sleep when she starts to hear someone calling her name repeatedly, and she's so incredibly scared, and she starts to hear the footsteps, like, above them, like, run. She goes to check. Couldn't be me, but she goes to check who was calling her name. And when she opens the door, she looks directly down the hallway and she sees 2 figures standing and they look exactly like her grandparents. But the only difference is they're all black with red eyes. See? No. 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 Kylie screams as loud as she can and she closes her brother's door. Her brother jolts up and they both can hear figures running up and down the hallway banging on the brother's door. Oh my god. The banging literally started at like 2:30, 3 o'clock and did not end until 8 or 9:30, okay? The banging was so bad they thought the door was gonna fly off. They also heard like figures in the living room like throwing everything around, and when the parents got home they screamed for their children's names because they thought that somebody done broke in. The house looks a complete mess. Scary story time while I react to store-bought slime. This slime is called Lemonade Scan. What? Stan. It's been so long, y'all. Hunter and his friends were planning a weekend getaway trip at this old lake. Now, there had been rumors that this lake was haunted, but of course, Hunter and his friends... Open. Oh. They didn't believe in any of that haunted talk, but y'all, I can't explain how these like sponges feel, but it doesn't feel like a regular sponge. Like it feels like slime almost. It's like a squishy. Now this trip was supposed to be 2 to 3 days max. I can't open it. But multiple people told Hunter not to go on this trip just because the lake is in a rural area and people wouldn't be able to get to him in time if something happened. But Hunter and his friends, again, did not care. Y'all, it said it's scented, but this just smells like regular slime. Oh no. Okay, y'all, it's not pokey. And it's not stretchy. Like, at all. What is this? A blob of nothing. Y'all have to forgive me. I am a little rusty, so I'm sorry if I'm not getting to the point quick enough. When Hunter and his friends arrived at this camp, Hunter felt a bit off, but he got in the water with his friends and they had a little fun. By this time, it was already, 10 p.m. And this is where a lot of the torture starts to happen, okay? Hunter starts to hear his grandmother call his name, and his grandmother isn't alive anymore. I'm gonna try my best to fix this slime, y'all, but I don't know. I think a little glue could help it. I did add these in there because it's like so cool. Now Hunter immediately jolts up when he hears his grandmother calling his name, and he notices that his tent bunking buddy wasn't in the tent. So he starts calling his buddy's name and his buddy isn't answering back. At this point, he's scared because he knows his grandma isn't here anymore, and the fact that he's hearing his grandma everywhere around him is freaking him out. Hunter is scared out of his mind at this point because he could hear whatever's calling his grandma circle around his tent. I added water. Maybe that could help. Hunter calls for his friends, but they're not answering. He's screaming at this point when the noises finally stop. He opens the tent and there he sees it. About 20 feet away from his tent, he sees something tall and black with no eyes and a large jaw that's like hanging. And then he sees his friends, all of them lined up one by one, unalived, not here anymore. It didn't matter how loud Hunter screamed because no one could hear them. They were in the most haunted part of the forest. No one went over there. Everyone warned them and they still didn't listen. All night, Hunter heard that monster eating on his friends. And not only could he hear that, he could hear the voices of everyone in the forest screaming, crying. He could hear his grandma, and he started to go crazy at one point. Hunter didn't think he was going to make it out alive. And to this day, Hunter doesn't know how he did. He doesn't have an explanation. He just says he hopes people can believe him because his friends went missing in a popular national forest. People told him that it was haunted and they went anyway. This slime, if I had to rate it, I'd rate it a 2 just because I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you why. This slime had so much potential though. I tried everything. I added more glue. I added water. The last thing I'm gonna try is lotion. Cucumber melon, because this is not scented, it lied. Okay. Do y'all think it's gonna work or no? Let's see. Oh, no. Now this looks more like lemonade, but oh my gosh, my camera's dirty. I'm sorry, y'all. It didn't work. It didn't work. So this is definitely a 1, actually. The only good thing about that slime was these little foam balls that aren't really foam balls. I don't even know what they are, but they look cool. Well, that's the end. Scary story time at 3 a.m. in National Park edition. It's actually 4 in the morning, but yeah, I started it at 3. I have to whisper, guys, but you already know. Get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. Okay. This story time was sent in by a girl named Mallory, but it's about her older cousin Tom. Tom worked in a national forest. He was a park ranger. So part of Tom's job was to just make sure people were okay, and if they were lost, he would try to find them. You know, people went missing in forest a lot. No one had ever gone missing in the time that Tom was there, and this was his 2nd year working there. Until one day, he was notified that a woman had went missing in the woods. In Tom's head, it's a big deal, but it wasn't really a big deal because the way his coworkers explained, they made it seem like they found missing people all the time. So he did his rounds. He checked in the spots that, you know, someone who would go missing would usually be, and they couldn't find her. It had been 10 hours at this point that she was alone in the woods. Not to mention, it was winter, so it was freezing outside. There was really nothing Tom or Tom's team could do, so they went home that night, and Tom could not get this poor woman off of his mind. 3 days go by and they find the missing woman, but unfortunately she is unalived. In a brutal way, I might add. It was horrifying. Can't really go into details on this app. Put like this smell good, a little bit of that in there. Smells so good. This is so pretty, oh my gosh. The woman was unalived by someone else, y'all. Now you may think the story ends there, but it doesn't. The story is low-key just getting creepier. This is during one of Tom's night shifts, and he starts to hear like talking outside, and it's late. So he goes to check, and this is where he sees somebody far off in the distance of the woods just standing there. He gets his flashlight, and he sees a woman covered in blood. After Tom sees that woman, he knows in his head something's up. So he didn't chase after her because it's the middle of the night and it's freezing outside. And that woman was running, and it was also like she wanted him to chase her. So the next night, it's his night shift again, and this is where he hears blood-curdling screams. Keep in mind, Tom is by himself. He's by himself. So when I'm getting goosebumps. He hears these blood-curdling screams. He looks outside again, and what does he see? He sees a woman standing off by the post, and she's like just screaming. So he takes his flashlight. She runs away. This is where things get weird though. After he goes back in, he hears complete silence from the forest, which is strange because it's a forest and it's completely silent. Not a bug, not a noise, not nothing. And then he hears crying so loud it could like pierce your eardrums. And he is freaked out because again, he's here by himself, and he thinks that whatever, like the poor woman who was unalived a couple of days, or I think, what was it, a week ago? I cannot remember. He thinks she's haunting the place. So after the third night of complete torture, he quits the job. I wish I could show y'all up close. Oh no, y'all could see. Look at the goosebumps. He quits the job. And on his drive home, because of course it's a wooded area and his home is like 40 minutes away, he sees a woman in the middle of the street covered in blood. And he steers away, and he stops until he realizes that that's the woman who was unalived just days prior. Mind you, this is like 30 minutes from the site that it happened. We don't know, he doesn't really explain why he believes she was personally haunting him, but y'all, I don't know, that one gave me goosebumps. But anyways, y'all, look at this slime that will activate. It's so pretty, but it just won't activate. Like, I feel like it's activating now, but like, my slimes always activate towards the end, and I'm tired of that. But here's the slime. It's so pretty. I'm gonna call it Blueberry Shine. And yeah. So here's that scary story time. Scary story time, Appalachian Mountain edition. At 5 a.m. Okay. Have I been up all night? Yes. Let's just do a little bit, get your money's worth, and let it drain. Because I'm trying to make like a beaded slime. Now, Kyle, he was a camper. He loved hiking, he loved camping, he loved all of it. I put like beads in this bowl and very little slime because I want to make like a bead slime. So yeah, like I said, Kyle loved hiking, and he especially loved hiking and camping with his buddy Brandon. Brandon wasn't really a camper. It kind of freaked him out. Why is my camera doing that? I'm gonna crash out. But Brandon decided to go along with the hike because it was Kyle's birthday. So he was like, you know what, I guess I'll hike with you. Yeah. They get to their campsite, they set up camp, and they're having a nice time all day. Like, they're right by a river too, so it's really beautiful. Now, Kyle and his buddy Brandon, they get in their tent, and as they're about to go to sleep, this is when they hear like millions of footprints, like millions of them. They hear people talking by their campfire, all right? Talking by their campfire, and then suddenly their campfire goes out, all right? No idea, it just goes out. So at this point, Brandon and both Kyle are up and they're freaked out, especially Brandon because he's never went camping before, hiking, none of this, and he's just doing this for his best friend, and look at where it landed him. Now, wait, this is coming out exactly how I wanted it to. It's so pretty. Anyways, now Kyle wasn't the one to play. He had a loaded pew-pew on him at all times, especially when he went out camping solo. So When they heard all these footprints and they heard people talking by their campfire in a language they couldn't understand, Kyle literally said, "Go away right now or I will pew-pew you." And the people just kept on talking. And then they started talking louder, and then they started to scream. And then they heard running around their freaking tent. I have goosebumps again. I hate doing this at night. Then out of nowhere, everything stopped. Everything went silent. They couldn't hear the forest. They couldn't hear the footsteps. They couldn't hear the people talking. They couldn't hear nothing but each other's hearts pounding out of their chest. All right? And that's what freaked Kyle out even more, because rule number one in the Appalachian Mountain is, honey, if you, oh wait, that was loud. If the forest goes silent while you up in that mountain, something out there with you. Then they started to hear whistling, right? Whistling coming from all areas. And along with the whistling came the screaming, and then this sound that he can't even really explain, because it doesn't even sound like something a human could mimic, but it was shredding, all right? And then after that, it was complete silence, and it would kick up all over again. They survived till morning, but the freakiest part is that they seen the footsteps around their tent, around their campfire, and then they seen the scratch marks about 10 feet up on a tree. Scratch marks all over the trees. Y'all, this is why I don't go camping. You would never catch me freaking camping ever. All right, now we have 2 slimes, and we're gonna see which ones pops the best, okay? So let's like go like this, go like that, and then circle it, and 1, 2, 3. That was like really good. And then we're gonna do it another way so we can like judge them in 2 ways. Now we're gonna do this way, stretch, and then we're gonna kind of like fold it like that. All right, this one we're gonna call Little Bill. All right, so Little Bill, I low-key love the way Little Bill sounds. This is Big Bill. All right. Okay. It's still going. Well, okay. I love Little Bill, but Big Bill got that one. So now we're gonna do this one. Alright. How did I do it last time? Oh, I did like that. I feel like Little Bill won that one, because I feel like Big Bill is just too big for me to like actually do it right. So yeah, he's just too big. But the slime is so pretty. Oh my gosh. So my favorite one tonight definitely has to be this one. I think I just like the color. So yeah, this one's like so tiny. I really wish I could put it in the squishy, but that's the end of the video. So bye guys. Scary Storytime Appalachian Mountain Edition while I make slime on the floor, because I moved into a new house and I don't have a vanity yet. Also, I'm sorry that I haven't been filming videos. I'm sick. Well, I'm getting over my cold. It was the flu. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Now, Kimberly and her family just moved into this new house along the Appalachian Mountain Trail, and they weren't newbies to the lore of the mountains. But Kimberly didn't really believe in all that. Kimberly was a shy kid. She stayed to herself and she had 0 friends. Please give me some more glue. I'm praying. Kimberly and her dad walked a lot, and they walked like some trails in the Appalachian Mountains, but they never really stayed too late because Kimberly's mom didn't like the idea, even if she didn't believe it. I'm praying I have more glue. Yes! Kimberly literally had 0 friends, and one day her dad wasn't around, so she decided to go on a walk, and this is where she meets this girl named Veronica. Now, Veronica and Kimberly become inseparable. Unfortunately, Veronica doesn't go to Kimberly's school, so she's still lonely at school, but she has a best friend to come home to after school. Now, Kimberly's parents were pretty strict. They didn't want her to have any type of sleepovers, and people couldn't sleep over their house. So when Veronica did come over was when her parents weren't home. It's been months now, and guess what? Kimberly's parents go out of town, so she's gonna be home alone, and she decides that this is the perfect time to invite Kimberly over. By the way, for the people asking what my activator is, this is the activator I use. You can find it at Walmart. So Kimberly
and Veronica have their very first sleepover. It's fun. They're telling scary story times. They go to sleep around like 12, and out of nowhere at 3 a.m., Kimberly wakes up to the sound of a scream. Like, it's so loud, she feels like it dang near broke her freaking glasses. So I'm gonna pour some of my other slime on here. There we go. She immediately starts looking for Veronica, but Veronica is nowhere to be found. And so at this point, Kimberly is scared. She's home alone. Parents are like literally miles away, and she can't find Veronica. She's looking throughout the entire house when out of nowhere, she starts to hear footsteps above her head. Again, home alone. Only person that should be there is her and Veronica. And the footsteps is happening in the attic. So she's just thinking, okay, maybe Veronica got curious and started to explore the house, and she wasn't allowed to go into the attic. She goes into the attic. No one is up there. She comes back down, and this is where she sees at the foot of the like stair part of the attic case. I don't know. She sees something literally tall, black with a neck like this. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I can't. She sees that. Okay, and so she immediately runs back up into the attic, and she's screaming Veronica's name. Veronica's still not coming out. At this point, she starts to hear the like whatever that is at the bottom of the staircase climb up the staircase. She's hurled herself into a tiny little ball, and then she hears Veronica's voice, and she looks up, and Veronica's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Bro, you didn't see that?" And so this is where Veronica goes, "Just surrender yourself to him." What? Actually, I think I might jump out the window. What? And she tells Veronica, "Girl, stop playing." And she's like, "I'm not playing," right? And now Kimberly, whoever sent this to me, didn't really explain how I could explain the sound, but I don't know. It's just a creepy sound. When she looks back up, Veronica's not there anymore. And so she runs downstairs, and keep in mind, it's nighttime. She was never allowed to go outside at night because like the theories that her mom believed were true, but she don't care. She run outside anyway, and she could hear birds crickets, all like the bugs, and then out of nowhere, straight silence. She doesn't hear anything. She looks behind her. It's the man, super tall with the broken neck. I don't know what this theme is with the man with the broken neck, but I'm good. And she's just running, screaming, trying to get the attention of her neighbors. But remember, she's in the Appalachian Mountains, so the neighbors ain't gonna open the doors for you. They're not. At this point, she's literally running, and somehow, some way, he's still 5 feet behind her. 5 feet behind her. I don't know if I said this already, but she runs to the trail where her and Veronica met, and there Veronica is sitting on a bench near a fallen tree. And when she looks behind her, the man in black with the broken neck, he's behind her also. And Kimberly is freaked the crap out. She doesn't know what to do. She's literally scared. Her parents aren't here. Keep in mind, she's like 17 years old. She's still thinking that Veronica a real person. Veronica ain't real, honey. You got to go. You got to go. When Kimberly called Veronica's name, Veronica turned her head, and there was nothing there. There was just a sunken face. Like, it was just a bottomless pit of nothing. So, yeah. The person who sent me the story didn't tell me how Kimberly made it out, if she's okay, if she didn't make it. All I know is that this is one of the tales of the Appalachian Mountains, and this is why I will never, I won't be caught there. I won't. But this is my white slime. Yes. I don't really have a lot of slime supplies, but I thought I'd just make a little story time for y'all because it's been a minute. So, yeah, bye, guys. My knees hurt and my back. Oh, my bed is so tea.
Scary story time while I talk about things that were considered normal in my toxic household while I make pink slime. The girl is no longer living in that environment, and I thank God every day for it because, y'all, I almost took myself out. Within a month of me being there, hands were put on me due to a drunken argument. I wasn't even the drunk one. I'm sober. So, yeah. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Y'all already know. It happened about, I want to say 11 to 12 days before my 21st birthday, and 2 people in the house started arguing, and it was like at 3 a.m. And keep in mind, I'm new to this situation, so I had no idea like what was really gonna go on. I'm standing in the way of my door, and then next thing you know, somebody charges at me, picks me up, and drop kicks me, and then kicks me while I'm on the floor. I was gasping for air. Yeah. I was on FaceTime with my sister when it was all going down, and all I remember is being picked up, slapped, phone dropping, and I'm just gasping for air at this point. Like I'm out of it. So as I'm getting up, I can remember hearing like one of the person's friends saying like, "Why would you do that to her?" Like, keep in mind, these are people that I lived in a household with who are all over the ages of 35 years old. And I had only been there for about a month, so I really didn't know anybody. And so when this happened to me, I was sitting, like, I literally went outside and threw up all over, like, outside. And I was, like, in shock because, as y'all know, I was abused as a kid. So, like, all I'm just seeing in my head is just flashbacks of my childhood. I didn't go to sleep until, like, 4 in the morning that night. And I remember waking up to hearing more arguing. And the only person who thought it was a big deal was the person who stood up for me and was like, "Why would you do that to her?" To this day, I've never gotten an apology by that person, like, to this day, about that situation. Not that he even remembers. I want this slime to be bigger, so I'm gonna add more glue. The next situation, whoa, come on. So after that situation, I was the target for all of that person's arguments. Like, every single time they would have an argument, they would always bring me up for whatever reason, but I was the fundamental issue. Over the course of the next, I want to say, couple of months, I was literally dealing with the person that I loved being called out of their name constantly. I heard it through the walls. I heard their arguments. I heard their fighting, like, and I was just living in this by myself. And it was like the next day happened, they were best friends, and like, I'm the only crazy one in the house because I'm the only one confused on why this is okay. My sister and somebody who's going to remain anonymous went over to their sister's or their auntie's house, and they came back. My mom told me to wait outside for them to come back. And that night I went outside. This person was literally talking crap about my mother to children. So I told them, I couldn't hold it in no more. I told them, I was like, "Yo, like, you don't have to address this to kids like they're children." And they were like, "I'm gonna do whatever the F I want to." And then this person escalated, told me that they were gonna punch me in my effing face. I was a huh, I was a B word. Like, y'all, I was called out of my name up until 4 a.m. that night. 4 a.m. Now, I will say, towards the end of my stay, this person did, like, try to clean up their act, and they stopped trying to argue and fight as much. But at the same time, it was just like, I've been through months of hell. Okay, I was going through so much, and nobody told me sorry. I think I was told sorry one time by the person's dad, and this person was like, "Hey, I'm sorry on his behalf." And after that, never again. Never again. I don't know why this slime is so, like, jiggly, but, like, it barely pokes, but it's like it makes bubbles. Okay, I lied. It pokes. It pokes good too. I'm tripping. What is wrong with me? I'm gonna do one more bubble for y'all. Scary story time while I try to fix this cinnamon roll store-bought slime, Appalachian Mountain edition. Now that I'm living in North Carolina, I think it's only right that I make an Appalachian scary story time. I low-key want to do a comparison of how this slime feels versus homemade slime. Starting off good, Rachel and her friend Rebecca were... Whoa! This smells good. I just didn't expect it because it's a blue slime. It smells like butterscotch. Rachel and her friend Rebecca thought it would be a good idea to go on a trail in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains at nighttime. Keep in mind, they were natives. I'm not gonna lie. Why is this slime good? Okay. According to Rachel, they did not believe in the make-believe ghost stories that the Appalachian Mountain brings. So her and her friend thought it would be a good idea to go camping and stay all night to prove the story's right. This slime is really good for a store-bought slime. Anyways, back to the story again. If you know anything about the Appalachian Mountains, you don't want to be there in the nighttime. Sometimes you don't even want to be there at day. So it's about 7-something p.m. when they start, and it's already getting dark, and Rebecca don't really have a good feeling about this, but Rebecca's a follower and she's doing what her group leader is telling her to do. These girls knew nothing about camping, so they were gonna stay in this old house that was along the trail somewhere. All of their friends told them not to do it because the Appalachian Mountain, it could be a very dangerous trail even if you don't believe in ghosts and all that different types of stuff. Is it Appalachian or Appalachian?
No.
Now, they've been walking this trail for about 2 hours before Rachel starts to realize that they cannot find this abandoned shed house anywhere. And Rebecca is starting to freak out because now at this point they're lost. They have no idea where the crap they are, and they've been walking for like 2 hours freaking straight. I'm gonna add some more of this hologrammy. I hate the way it looks, but like it looks tea, and it looks tea. And this is good slime for store-bought. Like, watch. Watch. There we go. Now, people who live in the Appalachian Mountains for years say if you hear the forest suddenly go quiet, you don't hear any bugs or nothing, might as well say bye-bye, or you better hope that you can make it out alive. And that's exactly what happens to Rachel and Rebecca. Out of nowhere, they don't even hear crickets. Everything goes still. They can't hear anything but their own heartbeat. Do you know how creepy that is? Now I'm gonna compare this slime to my slime, and I low-key think this is the winner. Rebecca starts to scream out of nowhere, and Rachel is confused on what's going on with her, and this is where Rebecca starts to shake uncontrollably and falls on the ground. Keep in mind, at this point, it's like 12:30. They're in the middle of the forest, and it's pitch black out there. This is my homemade slime, and I'm gonna mix them. I don't know if I already said this, but this is where Rachel and Rebecca both start to hear whistling from all directions. Oh no. I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all shouldn't go hiking at nighttime, let alone hiking in haunted land. Like that's insane. Keep in mind, these girls went hiking without any type of hiking experience on a trail they've never even heard of before, looking for a shed that probably doesn't even exist in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Rebecca is the one that sent me the story, and she does express how like dumb that kind of was on their part. And while I was reading the story, like my grandma just said, I didn't think that this was gonna be them making it alive. So going on, Rebecca stops shaking uncontrollably, and Rebecca doesn't even remember doing that, but this is from Rachel's POV. Rachel stands completely still, and she sees a man standing in front of her with a broken neck and a blacked out face. When Rebecca comes to, she sees that man too. No, I would have just started praying. He wasn't moving, and they're still hearing whistling all around them. The forest is completely quiet. It's like you can hear a pin drop and echo throughout the entire forest. This is where they both get up and run. They just booked it. They didn't even know where they were running to, but by this time it's already like 1:30 because Rebecca was shaking on the floor for a minute, y'all. While they're running, they start to hear the forest make sounds again. Crickets are chirping, not birds, but bugs are making noises. When they stop to catch their breath, 4 feet behind them, they see the man with the broken neck again. It's wraps. Actually, just taking me and yeah, I can't do that. Like they were literally running for a long time. They stopped to catch their breath, and he right behind them still. No, they decided that they were just gonna stay in one spot and pray until the sun came up. They're still hearing the whistling, but also they're starting to hear someone call their name. Yeah, no, I'm gone. Just take me at that point. You're torturing me. Y'all are not gonna believe this, but Rachel still did not believe what was happening to them was some type of supernatural phenomenon. I can't say the word. Don't make fun of me. Phenomenon. Phenomenon. No. Anyways, yeah. Phenomenon. Anyways, just skip past that. At this point, they're praying, saying prayers, and the sun is coming up, but they can still hear whistling and their names being called. They are running. At this point, they're not even on trail anymore. I can't even tell you, neither can Rebecca, tell you how they made it back to their car. God and God alone. Newsflash, Rebecca and Rachel are no longer friends, and I'd hope not, because what? I forgot to add why they're no longer friends is because when they decided to stay in one spot, it was actually Rachel's idea. Rebecca wanted to keep going, but Rachel just insisted that Rebecca was being over dramatic, and what was happening to them was a big prank. All right, so Rachel, I should have left you, honestly. But this is my homemade slime that I decided to add in here. No, it was not a prank. Exactly whatever they were experiencing out there was real. And this is the store-bought slime. It turned into like a periwinkle thing because like all the bubbles, but it's kind of tea, y'all. It's kind of tea. And this is the little keychain thingy that goes with it, and that's also kind of tea. And I actually just love this, but I hate the smell because for some reason it smells like butterscotch instead of smelling like berry or something. But that's the end of the story. Bye. I'm actually gonna mix the rest of my pink slime with the other pink and blue slime. because I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. And this is going to turn out to look like a donut or a purple. So I know I was talking a lot in the video, y'all, but I'm a little rusty. So don't hate me. Grandma. Bye, y'all. Scary story time while I make slime, haunted house edition. It feels like it's been forever since I've done a scary story time, so sit tight, cause yeah. The toxic house that I lived in had a lot of negativity. Oh my gosh, why can't I talk? You already know. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. So when I first moved there, somebody told me that somebody unfortunately did pass away in that house, and so my ghost stars, my ghost radar is going off. I'm like, okay, like, where they at? Now, the first couple of months of me being there, I did not see no nothing. But it did start off slow. Like, for example, the stairs would go up, and then it would be like the living room, the kitchen, the hallway. And down the hallway, you would see something. Or on the stairs, walking past the stairs, you would see something coming up the stairs. And it never freaked me out until this specific day, okay? At this point, this house is well known to be toxic, okay? I'm ready. I've had enough. I can't film my videos. I'm depressed. Like, everything and then some is going wrong with me. And I had asked my mother if she could take me to go get something to eat because I was hungry. Now, it's me, my mom, my sister, and I guess what you can call my stepsister. We all in the car. And we waiting on going. And I'm on my phone. I'm sitting in the front seat. And by the door of the house, I see something white and tall looking at me. But it's like I can see them, but I can't see them, if that makes sense. And so I lift my head up. I look up. And for like a split second, they're there. And then like they're gone. So I'm like, but keep in mind, seeing ghosts is like a regular occurrence for me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I put my head back down. I'm looking on my phone and I look up and then I see something black, tall with a hat. Like they both had hats on, but it was black and tall. And y'all, when I tell you, my first thought was the Grim Reaper. Like I'm thinking, what tragedy is about to happen in this household? Because we was finna leave, and so I'm thinking like the worst. Like my anxiety is already not the best. So the first thing I'm thinking is we all about to go perish, okay? Because it was standing by, like they were both standing by like the house, like the door of the house, waiting for somebody to let them in almost. And it gave me goosebumps when I had seen the black, when I seen the black thing, I was like, what is this, right? So I just kind of like tried to forget about it. And then me and my mom kind of got into an argument, and then I immediately remembered the black and the white thing, because it was like I had seen the black thing, I put my head down, and then I like look up again and I seen both of them standing at the same time. And I will say after that, that's when I started to see them more and more. Not those two specific things, but like ghost more and more. This is just me being straight up. That house was toxic. There were so many negative things that was happening in that household, and it was only inviting more evil things in. So towards the end of my stay there, I remember like going into the kitchen and I would just feel like someone is watching me from behind, turn around, no one's there. Or for example, I remember I was like in the kitchen, I was like making my food or something, and I'm standing like this because like the way the kitchen was set up, it was like a big kitchen. So you would go in, the refrigerator's right here, and then the living room is like right over there. And so I was like standing this way, and I seen something in my peripheral vision, and it was something black, tall, with a face looking at me. Like at that point I was like, nah, I gotta go back to the room. And I never really seen anything in the room that I was staying in. It was only everywhere else in the house. And that's mainly because I really did pray in that room. I tried to pray everywhere in that house, but y'all, this is something that I told my homegirl. When you are living positively or following God, like the devil chases you. A lot of people don't want to believe that, but like evilness chases you when you doing good. That is the truth. I definitely have more scary story times inside of that house. But yeah, I just want to say I low-key did miss you guys so much. And this blue slime, success. I will be posting more. I know I have not been posting as much as I used to, but I'm trying to ease back into it. So your girl's back. Bye guys. Who did I spend the summer with? Part 1, while I make slime. Yeah. So I live in a toxic environment, and I refuse to become the product of my environment. So I'm gonna talk about some of the things that happen here. Yeah. Within the first couple of days of me being here, I have never seen so much dysfunction. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Thought I forgot? Be for real. No one in this house is sober except for 3 people, and I can't even name one of the people. But like,
I'm basically the only fully sober one. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. I'm letting y'all know now. Being around toxic people will literally drain, like suck the life out of you. And that's what it's been doing for me. But I've been trying to keep a positive attitude, but it's just hard, man. Like, it's genuinely hard. Like, for example, the other day, I had blow dried my hair, right? And when I blow dried my hair, I put my hair in a bun because I'm planning on doing something to my hair. I don't know yet. But I put my hair, come on. I put my hair in a freaking bun. And I'm about to walk outside to film. And next thing you know, I hear somebody say, "What's that thing on top of your head?" And I'm like, "A bun?" And they're like, "It looks raggedy." Okay, I'm gonna go myself. I'm like, "Oh, keep in mind, I've been depressed since I've been here." So I'm like, okay. And so I go in the bathroom, I fix the bun the best way I can, and then I put in like a little fake nose ring. And then same person goes, "What's that thing in your nose?" And I was like, "Oh, like a fake nose ring." And they go, "It turns a good looking young girl into a ratchet female, a raggedy female." You are not the person to talk when you called me the B word. And I'm not even gonna go into that. January 30th, I was kicked out of the house at 1 in the morning over something that was out of my control. I'm gonna explain more probably in the next video, but I was kicked out of the house. Okay, and I didn't take it seriously just because I was like, I'm not gonna be kicked out of a house that my mother pays most of the bills in at 2 in the freaking morning. You got me bent. So I laid my butt down and went to sleep. I've been kick slapped, kick stumped across the floor to where the wind got taken out of me and I threw up outside within the first 2 months of me living. No, the first month of me living in this house. Okay. I've been called an effing B word. I've been told that I was gonna get punched in my mother effing face. The list goes on and the stuff that has happened to me in this house, and I can't really go into detail because I'm still here. I'm gonna start rocking backwards and forwards, but like I'm still here, so like I can't really go into the nitty gritty. But oh my gosh, my body is falling. Don't worry, y'all. Like I said, the tea will be dropped, and this is the little bit of the tea. Just wait till you get detailed story times. But I made some pink slime again because guess what? The 2 kids that I'm sharing the room with, they just went into all of my slime supplies and wrecked it, ruined it, just destroyed it. Okay? Yeah. So let's talk about the first time I was picked on and targeted in this house by basically the owner, right? So I had, the day before, I was called a B word, said I was gonna get punched in my mother effing face, like I told y'all. And so I was like, you know what? I can't sit in this house and act like this is normal. I have to walk. So I ended up doing basically an hour walk to the gas station and back. And Miko, be freaking for real. When I get back, I was already crying on the walk, like already praying to God, just like asking him, please help me. Like I was already depressed. And when I get back, I make it into the room. Someone bangs on the door. And I'm like, yeah, come in. And this person goes, open the door. I open the door and they're like, clean this mother effing room. I'm like, huh? And they're like, clean this mother effing room. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was leaning on the door while they were saying that because I literally had, like, I had 3 Gatorade bottles, a bag of chips, and a freaking beef jerky. So I'm holding this while the bag is breaking. I'm leaning on the door. This person goes, you trying to close the door on me? Matter of fact, yes. No. But I was like, no. And then they're like, oh, whatever. And so then they slammed the door, and I was on the phone with my grandma and my auntie. And then I'm like, and then this person goes, you talking back? I'm 21. I have no relation to that person whatsoever. And so I was like, no. And then I started to cry. It broke my little spirit down. And I started to cry. I got picked on. And that was the first time. And that's basically what started me getting picked on in this house. Even though I was already getting picked on and targeted. Yeah. Make slime with me while I talk about the scariest things that I've experienced over the years. We're gonna be making clear glow in the dark slime, or I'm gonna try to make like clear glow in the dark slime. Y'all already know, get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. So I had a bay window as a kid, and the bay window overlooked the front yard, and then I had a window that overlooked the backyard. And so one day, y'all, I'm chilling. I don't remember if my sisters were in the room, but I'm chilling, and I literally see a man walk into our yard and then continue to walk himself in the backyard. Me being a literal child, the first thing that I did was tell my dad that there was somebody in our backyard, right? So when I did that, this man came back and said there was nobody out there. He brought his bat and everything. He said there was nobody out there. And I know I'm not tripping, y'all, because guess what? That freaking gate, we had this big gate, 2 gates in our backyard. And it was one for our neighbor's house and then one for the neighbor that was behind us, right? And guess what? Guess freaking what? Them gates, this is the glow in the dark stuff, but them gates were both like at least 15 feet high. There was no way in the time that I called my dad, and keep in mind his room was right there, so like 20 seconds max, that he could have hopped that gate and skedaddled. And how did he even know the layout of our backyard? I don't know how much I gotta put in here, so I'm just gonna put that much, okay? Period. To this day, that's still unexplained, and me and that man made eye contact. I know I'm not tripping. So when I was younger, I would have dreams of people that had passed away that I never met in my life. Like, I would have vivid dreams of what they looked like, what they sounded like. And I feel like it scares me now, because how's that even freaking possible? Well, I just added this cool holographic crap to my other slime, but I'm gonna add it to this slime as well. I don't know. Pink on pink just eats. Come on. There we go. I also want to say, like, these are like low-key kind of years in between. Like, it's not happening like back to back to back to back. We're gonna fast forward to when I was living with my mom when I was like 16. My mom had 2 ghosts in her house. One was good and one was bad. And the good ghost, like, oh my gosh, I just got freaking goosebumps. The good ghost would like open and close the doors, turn the sink on, turn the sink off. The bad ghost would literally slam the doors. Like, you would hear people stomping and no one's in the house with you. And my sister just told me a story time while she was by herself. Like, my mom asked her to go get something, and she seen us like a long, skinny, like palish thing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Palish thing on the freaking couch. Like, it was laying on the couch, and she thought that it was somebody that I'm not gonna name. And so then when she came back, it was nobody there. And so she touched the couch, and she said it was so freaking cold, she felt like it was like the freezer. Take me out. But when I moved to New York, I would constantly, now when I moved to New York, I was seeing things back to back to back to back to back. I was seeing faces on the stairs. I was seeing people like walking, nobody was there. I was seeing women in like the 19th like century freaking outfits. And I'll never forget the freaking lady in white. She was by my freaking grandma. Like, y'all, yeah. The scariest time I had there, though, was when this will be the scariest one by far, but I was in the kitchen, I was on the phone with my man, and next thing you know, I was talking to him. Keep in mind, I commonly did this even though I knew that there was low-key kind of ghosts in that house. I would just be walking around the kitchen pitch black. Like, I like to be in the dark. So when I was talking to my man, and then next thing you know, I looked like beneath me, and I seen this ugly, small black creature, and I screamed so loud. Keep in mind, y'all, it was like 12 in the morning. 12 in the morning, and I screamed in the top of my lungs, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I immediately just like went to go lay down, and my man was like, what the crap did you scream for? And I was like, bro, I seen something. Y'all, I think this slime is gonna be pretty. I don't know if it's gonna glow in the dark, because I don't know if I put enough in there, but like, I definitely think it's gonna be freaking pretty. But look, it's coming together. It's nice and pretty and pink. I might put a little bit of these fruits in here, just a little bit. It don't need a lot. And then as of recently, the last thing that I seen was I was leaving the neighborhood that I live in, and I seen somebody walking up to the car, and like I asked my mom if she seen him, and she was like, I don't see nobody. And then when I looked back, there was nobody there. Can't tell you what, did I overactivate it, y'all? No, I just wanted it to stop being sticky. Clear, no. Oh, okay, I fixed it, because I got the slime hands. Okay, y'all, bye. Scary story time while I make slime. Hi guys. It's been almost a month since I posted my last video. I just been going through some things, guys. I'm back though. This story was sent in by fans. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Starting off strong, Kimmy was a cheerleader, and she lost a bet to the football players, unfortunately. The loser of this bet and their entire team had to go in this old house in the middle of the woods. I think I should make the slime blue. I don't know. Should I just keep it as clear? I don't know. Kimmy didn't want to do the bet in the first place, but her cheerleader friends was like, girl, come on, you're being boring. They lose the bet, and they have to camp in this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere for 2 days, okay? Locals in the town said the house was haunted because the man who used to live there unalived his entire family in the house. And ever since then, there has been sightings of a baby crying, a woman screaming, and a man yelling, okay? Kimmy and her friends make it to this house. Kimmy is scared out of her mind because Kimmy believes in ghosts. Unlike her friends and the freaking football players, she believes in freaking ghosts, right? Within the first couple of hours, strange things start to happen. They start to see things move off of shelves. One girl said she felt someone pinch her arm even though she was around nobody at the time. And now, at this point, Kimmy has felt something whisper in her ear for the past 3 hours now. Kimmy's ready to go home. And what sells the fact that she's ready to go home is right as they're going to bed. she feels something scratch the back of her neck, and no one was around her, by the way. So when she asked one of her friends to check what the crap that was, she has 3 scratch marks going down her entire freaking neck. Go home. I don't even care about the bet. Out of the entire cheerleading group, there was only about 5 girls there. So 3 girls at this point have seen, heard something, or watched something move off the freaking shelves. At this point, Kimmy is freaked out because why? Y'all, she got scratch mark going down her freaking neck. So she's telling the other girls, y'all, let's just go. Like, this is weird. This is creepy. This is unsettling. I cannot sleep here. Other girls is like, no, we have to commit the bet or the boys are going to make fun of us. Da, da, da. So at this point, everyone is laying down, and the 2 girls that still haven't seen anything, they don't really believe the other girls. And so out of nowhere, those 2 girls hear their names being called, and they start to walk upstairs. The other 3 girls are trying to stop them. It's like they're under like what is that word? They're hypnotized. While they were walking up the stairs, they were like saying these weird words that no one could under freaking stand, and they were just repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until one of the girls threw something at them, and they snapped back into it. And out of nowhere, they felt this weird, like, I can't even describe what they said in the messages, but like they felt this weird like gush of air shift towards them. So they just left everything and booked it in the middle of the woods in the middle of the freaking night. This is why I say don't play with the freaking woods, y'all. Don't play with the freaking woods, especially if somebody is saying it's haunted. I don't care if somebody told me to do a bet and I lost it, nigga. I'm not going to the middle of the woods. My ring light officially broke, so I'm using my iPad light. Yeah, but this is the slime, y'all. I'll definitely show y'all when it gets clear in like 2 to 3 days. But I put these cute little like pink what are these called, like holographic things in there, and yeah, the slime's stretchy. It poke. Okay, bye y'all. Scary story time while I make blue ocean slime. Okay, haunted house edition. Yeah, I made 3 slimes out of this one slime tube. Y'all, get your money's worth in. What? Let it drain. Yep. I'ma wait. Okay, y'all, so when I stayed in New York, I'm very convinced that house was a freaking portal to the upside down or something. Okay, let me stop. But yeah, no, like, y'all, I seen so many ghosts or whatever I seen up in that house. It's just crazy, uncanny. I'm gonna put some fragrance, and I didn't want to put so much blue because I want the blue to almost like be like a light blue, you know. The very first time I seen a ghost, I was sitting on this freaking where I used to film my old slime videos. I was sitting in that area doing my freaking hair, and then next thing you freaking know, I see a face at the top of the stairs, and I was like, and I look, y'all, and I could still see like a face, but it was like fading away, and I got so scared. I literally stopped doing my hair, I cleaned up everything, and then I went to sleep. That's how bad it scared me. I'm gonna put the rest of the fruit in this slime. Maybe not the rest, just that's enough. Yeah, y'all told me, wait, I want to say something. Thank you to the people who told me that Elmer's glue switched up their little formula and I could only activate it to other Elmer's glue products, because they real ghetto for that. Anyways, so the next thing that I had seen, I was what, 17, maybe going on 18. I remember I literally was sitting down on the couch. I watched my auntie go from one room to the freaking next, right? And so I was like, oh, let me go talk to my auntie. And she was like, I watched her go to the kitchen, right? I go into the kitchen, right? I even hear movement in the kitchen. I go into the freaking kitchen, nobody's in there. And so I go into the room where my auntie is at, and I was like, yo, like, were you just in the kitchen? And she said, girl, I've been laying down this whole time. What are you talking about? I need to go. And that was a common occurrence where you would see someone that looked exactly like you or someone that you know walk into one room and then no one would be in there. That was like a really common experience. This slime is gonna be so pretty when it's like clear. It's gonna be so pretty. So we were convinced, me, my family members, we were convinced that my auntie's room was the portal where they were coming out of and stuff like that, because the house was built in 1902, I believe. So the house was pretty old. The house was old, all right? So I remember one day, nobody was in my auntie's room, and I literally was there babysitting, and next thing you know, I seen like there's somebody in white just standing in the doorway. And I froze, it froze, I looked back, and then I act like I didn't see it, and when I turned back, it was gone. Yeah, go about your way. I'm getting goosebumps because, like, literally, sometimes you would get that feeling if the ghosts were scary or if they weren't, but for the most part, like, you were getting, like, a feeling like somebody's freaking watching me. And I remember one time, I was in the house by myself, babysitting, and next thing you know, I seen a little black creature, like, sitting next to me. little black creature. I didn't get a bad feeling about it though, so I was just like, hey dude, how you doing? And then it just went away. Like, it was like a quick, I seen it, and then when I looked back, it was gone. Didn't get a bad feeling though. Remainder of this video, oh my freaking gosh, the remainder of this video has to be filmed with no light because my iPad died. I will never forget that black creature, not the one that I was sitting on the couch next to, but the one that appeared underneath me. I tell this story every single time I talk about this, my scary story times, because y'all, I never felt a feeling like that when I seen like something that wasn't in this world anymore. Never. And like, that was so scary. But the most common occurrence ever in the house was like seeing somebody be somebody that you knew, or seeing the lady in white. Like, I would constantly see her and I just call her the lady in white, and I'm getting like the most weird vibe talking about it right now, but it's just because I'm scared and I don't like the fact that ghosts are real. So that's the end. That's the end. Bye guys.
I live in a toxic household, so let's make time while I like semi-trauma dump. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Still, I guess, on the bed. Yeah, I'm literally making slime on the bed. Are you kidding me, Miko? Are you freaking kidding me? Back to what I was saying. I'm literally making slime on the bed because I can't even use my vanity, because it went from 1 person to 2 people to 2 dogs and a cat. So the room has turned into a zoo, a barn farm. I haven't even been able to post. That's how bad it's been. Like, it's like draining. It's a lot of negativity, and there's so much stuff that I can't really talk about because I'm still here. I started to like become self-conscious, and I started to lose so much motivation because I was like, dang, like I haven't posted in so long, like no one wants to like hear from me anymore. And then like I opened my comment sections and people are like, where's Kaymaire? Like, where's the slime story times? And I feel so bad, but it's just like what's happening in my life right now is not really allowing me to make scary story times, slime story times, because it's just so much going on. And like, I will literally prepare myself to make videos, and then something will happen, and then I'm just like going freaking insane. Only TikTok video I was able to post this freaking month was about a dog dying, well, a puppy dying, and me rescuing dogs. When it was my mom, she rescued them, but I didn't take care of them things, okay? I just want to say, like, I'm still here. I'm not like quitting. I wanted to, like, I genuinely did want to quit content creation, but like content creation has been my dream. I'm not an influencer. I'm just someone who likes to edit, okay? Make videos, make people laugh, and it's like so hard for me. So this is like a little PSA of what's going on, why I haven't been filming. And I don't even know if this video is gonna reach everybody, but I know it will reach enough. But here's the slime that I made on the bed because my life is insane and I can't make it on a freaking vanity because I'm going crazy. Bubblegum slime, bubblegum slime. The issue that I'm having is I don't want to become a product of my environment, but being around people who are toxic, angry, mean, negative 24/7 will literally have you on the same path that they are in. Like, I'm losing my marbles, y'all. Look, all my marbles, I'm losing them. But at the end of the day, I just want to make a PSA. I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to make videos in the situation that I'm in. Happy New Year! Scary story time while I play with Peachy Baby's slime. Okay, y'all, so back when I stayed in New York, okay, like, are you kidding me? I lived in a house that was freaking haunted. This one specific night, I was on the phone with my boyfriend and we were talking, and I was in the kitchen, right? The lights were off, and I do this normally, like I just be in the kitchen with the lights off, but the lights were off, and next thing you know, like as I'm talking to my boyfriend, I see this like black figure appear directly underneath me. Y'all, I never screamed so loud in my life. Like, wow. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this slime is like extremely soft. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. That's not the only thing that had happened to me in that house. Like, there's so many things that had happened. The second scariest thing that had happened to me was I was in the bathroom one day, and like the way the bathroom was like, it was kind of a small bathroom, and the light was directly above you, okay? And the light turned off while I was in the bathroom. Not the bulb like going out, no, it flicked off, okay? And then the sink turned on. But this isn't the only
haunted house that I've lived in. That one I just lived the longest in, but the very first haunted house I lived in, well, I'll say the second haunted house I lived in was my mom's house. And bro, like the doors would slam, like it was knowingly that there were two ghosts in there and one was bad and one was good. The doors would slam, the sink would turn on, like you would hear people stomping around and nobody's moving. I've told this one before, but in honor of the new year, I thought I'd tell it again. It's the one where me and my sisters were in the closet up at late at night, and we thought our dad came in the room, but like our closet door was above the floor so we could kind of see through it. When I tell you we heard the scariest noise, we heard footsteps, but we didn't see no feet. Like I felt breath, y'all. I'm being so real. Like I felt like that was the scariest time in my life because we didn't know what was going on and we couldn't see nothing, and we just heard a loud growl. If I could rank them, it's the one that happened at my dad's house, the one that happened in the haunted house where a lot of stuff happened, and then my mom's house. So happy new year, y'all, and I love this peachy baby slime. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this one's low-key my favorite one because it's like more smoother and it smells really pretty. Look at it. Oh, and there's a honeycomb. Well, no, this is not a honeycomb. I don't know what. Wait, this is a bee. I didn't even see this. Okay, wait, I'm done. Bye, guys.